What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Before we get into the gameplay today, I just want to show you the stats of my Alex Pato card, who is the feature of today's video. A sensational card. Absolutely spectacular. I also want to tell you guys about the Foot Champs run. As you guys well know, I'm playing Foot Champs on my Xbox account this week as well. And basically in my mind, I thought to myself, if I do any less than 10 wins and 0 losses, I don't want to finish all the games on that account because I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. I'm not prepared and not experienced enough with that team to go and get 27 plus wins. So I thought to myself, if I go any less than 10 and 0, I'll come onto the Road to Glory and make full sure that we play all 30 games. If I did go 10 and 0 on the Xbox, I was going to play just the 14 wins on the PlayStation. And then I started streaming my games. I got to 9 and 1 on the Xbox, so I started streaming my PlayStation games, and here we are guys at 10 and 0 on the PlayStation. So this is the first time we've achieved this year. We have been as good as 15 and 1 before on PlayStation, but I got to like 7 or 8 wins before I took the first loss and then carried on. So a really good start to the weekend league. It's currently Saturday around 4 PM. So I've still got 20 games to play. You can see there 10 wins from 10 games. What I want to do is just play around 4 to 6 matches today, or until I lose. And even if that means I lose game 11, I'm going to save as many games as possible until Sunday. I've generally had really good runs on Sunday, and so I want to just try and avoid Saturday as much as possible. So hopefully we can get at least 25 wins again this weekend league. You know, as long as we can go 15 and 5 from our last 20, that'd be great. But if we can get 17 and 3 from our last 20 games, this could be the first week that we hit Elite 1. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. Once I put that pressure on myself, it's going to end up making me collapse. But at 10 and 0, it is a very good start. And so, as I said, the feature of this episode is Alex Pato. I did him a few reasons, mostly because AA9 Skills said that he looks like he'd be an absolute beast, and he showed a few things as to why, mostly because of that high-low work rate. And then when I looked into it a bit deeper, 5'11" with 86 strength with the chem style I've got on him, he's actually fantastic. And you can see there 14 goals in the 5 FUT Champs games that he's played for me and 1 assist. So 3 goal contributions on average per game from Alex Pato, and you're going to see some of the amazing goals that he's scored here today. And then on top of that, guys, we're up to 1.13 million coins. Now, there's been a lot of comments in the comment section, which we'll get to in a second, about whether or not I'm going to do the SPFL Tierney card. It is a good card. He's near identical to Robertson, so I will do him. But what I ended up doing, the reason why I've got 1.3 million coins, first and foremost, I sold all of my anchor chemistry styles. You guys remember I had like something like 200 and something. I bought them all for around 1,000 coins. I sold them all for 1,700 coins. And so now I have literally none left. I sold absolutely every single last one of them, which is where a bulk of our coins came from. And then also I went and sold a lot of the Scottish League players. I think there's still a couple on the transfer list as well, because they were selling for like 4 and 5Ks and stuff. And I don't want the left back that much. There you go. So I've got some left on the trade pile. Not a lot, but some. So yeah, you know, I don't want... I would rather take 50, 60, 80, 100,000 coins from selling the Scottish players and just continually use only Robertson, and then maybe do Tierney when the price comes down. According to FUTBin right now, he is valued at, and I have done 2 already, and I will do them in due course. But yeah, he's valued at 135,000 on PlayStation. So I'll do him in due course, but I'm more than happy with Robertson right now. So that, guys, is the squad. Pato is an absolute machine. Let's go and have a look at the gameplay from our 10 and 0 run and get into some comments. I will be right back. Okay, guys, as we get into the gameplay, first things first, the reason why the lighting isn't ideal is because Tobias stole my desk that was holding my lamp. So blame him. It's his fault. He's a tramp. Anyway, into some comments we go, guys, as you go and watch some gameplay. The first 2 games that I just played regularly in my office. just recording normally, and then from game 3 up until game 10 it was all played on stream. Of course, if you want to come check out the streams, twitch.tv/NepentheZ is where we are. So the first comment is from Ruben Birch. Says, this is my favorite FIFA by far this year. Gameplay is actually fun, lots going on, and most importantly, I feel like I can balance my FIFA with everyday life by only playing weekends and getting 2 sets of rewards. Much love from New Zealand. And although the gameplay is actually fun, can be debatable, I'm sure there are a lot of people that would disagree with you. I personally enjoy this game thoroughly. I feel like I'm better at this game than many FIFAs in recent years. I feel like I'm enjoying this game more in many FIFAs in recent years. But I don't know if that's necessarily a direct correlation of gameplay specifically, or if it's also a combination of what you say in terms of being able to balance your life with everyday life with FIFA. One of the things for me here, which I love in some instances and hate in others, is that you can genuinely not put too much time and effort and energy into this game and still get great things. So for example, for me right now, if I wasn't a content creator and if I didn't want to really maximize my efficiency and potential with things like bronze pack method, trading, SBCs and stuff, I right now would show up on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, play my 30 games, claim Division 2 Rank 3 rewards, claim FUT Champs rewards, and then I wouldn't show up again until the following Friday. So I'd only have to play 30 games a week, every week, and get great rewards. Or you know, even not 30 games a week. You know, play 15 games and then a few games of Rivals, for example, you know. But yeah, what is great about what EA have done this year, they have genuinely relieved the burden of needing to play so much to get anything. You know, previously you'd have to play 40 games between Friday and Sunday, and then if you didn't automatically qualify through FUT Champs, you had to go and play DKT, and then you would have to potentially win the DKT, and to win the DKT, you might have ended up having to play 10, 12, 15, or 18 games if you wasn't good enough to just win it straight off the bat. And so, you know, there were, and then obviously playing in divisions as well, and squad battles as well. There was sometimes a burden of you know, upwards of 100 games a week just to be involved. And so EA have done a great job of minimizing that, which I personally think for me has kept this game super interesting, super fresh, and kept me in a position where I'm absolutely loving playing the game. You know I get, as I say, I get less frustrated at this game than most others, you know, really do. I got a lot frustrated at 17, I got a little frustrated at 18, and in this game specifically, I know the biggest errors of my ways. You know, I know that when I get frustrated at the game, I start using second man press too much, I start running my defenders out too much, and that costs me games, whether or not I'm better than the opponent or not. But there's been very few games this year that I've come up against somebody and just genuinely felt the game cheesed me. You know, like I feel like in last year's game, I would come out of a weekend league with, you know, 31, 32, 33 wins, and I come away thinking, man, in at least 3 or 4 of those games, the game just screwed me. You know, like missing easy chances, stupid AI blocks, bad refereeing decisions. This year, I feel like there's potentially just 1 or 2 games, if that, where I feel like the game specifically cheesed me. Sometimes it's like I screwed myself, bad decision making, bad shot choices, just bad gameplay in terms of me playing bad, you know, pulling defenders out and stuff. But yeah, in terms of the actual game itself screwing me, I enjoy it a lot, and I know a lot of people don't. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with you know, server connection issues and just generally not enjoying the fact that the game is heavily based around what we just saw there, which is time finesse shots. But for me personally, I enjoy it, I love it, and that's why I'm playing it so much this year. Liam says, Nep, do you think they need to fix refs? So I have 2 opinions on referees. The first opinion, and when I mentioned this before, like there was a few people in the comment section that were like angrily anti my opinion. I think the referee should be invisible, right? They should not be. They should be an inanimate object. You should never, like in a game of FIFA where it's supposed to be skill based. It's not real life, right? It's not real life. Oh, refs aren't invisible in real life. I get that. I don't ever think that you should make a pass or take a shot or cross a ball and the ref that should be the reason why, you know, the ball hits the ref and then you turn over possession. And I also don't ever think that sometimes your player does this thing where they kind of like jockey around the referee. Like sometimes the ref gets in the way and they have to like lunge around him, and it causes the flow of the play to be not as it would have been if he wasn't there. So for me, referees should either be invisible are not collidable objects, or they should just not be on the field. So that's the first thing. And for some reason, people are, no, the ref has to be there. It's real FIFA, the ref's there. And I'm like, yeah, okay, but this isn't real FIFA. You know, in real FIFA, you don't have two Cristiano Ronaldos on the pitch at the same time. In real football, should I say. In real football, Eusebio can't play. Yet we can play him here. In real football, you can't have a permanent informed version of a player on the field at all times. It's just not how it works. So we can't always truly correlate FIFA to real football. The other thing about the referees is we know that different referees have different levels of leniency. Based on previous FIFAs, where you would go into an offline game, whether it be like, you know, career mode or just a regular like head-to-head game, and you could change the leniency levels of the referees, or you just have different leniency levels with referees. I think that in online FIFA is moronic. Now, I actually don't know if the referees have different leniency levels online, but if they do, that should be changed immediately. But even if they don't, even if they all have the same leniency level online, I wish the consistency would just be more accurate. Sometimes you will, like, I had a clip on Twitter yesterday where I'm clean through with Aubameyang. This guy, Sergio Ramos, comes through the back of me, cleans me out, takes me out, doesn't get anywhere near the ball, and I don't even get a foul, let alone a red card or a free kick or a yellow card. I just don't even get a foul at all. And then there will be other times where you'll be running side by side with someone and the ref will just give a free kick for it. And then there'll be some times where somebody sprints at you, shoulder barges you off the ball, and no foul will be given. I just want consistency. I just want to know, like, what is a foul and what isn't a foul, so that I can adapt my game around that. You know, if shoulder barges are constantly fouls, then I will play off of that. If shoulder barges are never fouls, then I'll play off of that. But if shoulder barges are sometimes fouls and sometimes not, how can you improve and adapt when you just don't know? You know, that would be my opinion on referees. Charlie says, "Hey Nep, just thinking back to the Champions League 2-player pick packs. I was thinking of an idea that maybe, not pick packs, 2-player packs. I was thinking of an idea that maybe EA could release an SBC where you submit maybe all gold reds for a UCL 1-player pack, but it doesn't contain duplicates. I would just like to know your thoughts on this. Cheers, Charlie." I guess you got that from like PEZ with the agent opening that they do. They have like a box set of like 300 players, and you will never get the same player twice. So eventually, after spending X amount of money, you know you will get Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi, etc. I do see some positives in this, but I also see some negatives in this. The positive would be is that it would actually give great value to gold cards in general. You know, shiny gold cards would be so valuable that even opening the 7.5k pack could be good for you, because if you pack 2 7 gold cards, they might be worth 1,500 to 2,500 coins each. It would make buying packs worthwhile. And so that would be great for the economy and great for the market. Obviously, the negative is, which is one of the replies to this, is that after a certain period of time, if people are smart or lucky or just take enough time, if they're just grinders, eventually, if you wanted to, you could always guarantee yourself CR7 UCL, Gareth Bale UCL, Lionel Messi UCL, like all the best, Neymar UCL. And that could have long-term negative implications on the game. So I kind of like the idea. We would have to curb it to being a little bit more efficient, maybe just in that week. So maybe, every Champions League day so far, we've had 5 match days, so 5 times. Maybe like with the foot swap cards, the foot swap cards are labeled 1 and 2 so far. And so, you can't use number 1 in number 2, and you can't use number 2 in the number 3 foot swap that hopefully is coming, well, hopefully yesterday by the time you're watching this. What would be awesome is if you're on week 1 UCL, the cards have a little 1 on them for being week 1. So only, like, if let's say you get UCL Fred in week 1, you can never get him again if you open week 1 UCL packs, but in week 2 you can get week 2 Fred, so you can get him again. I think that would be pretty cool and a good way around long-term people just getting everything, because then you would have to dump all of your resources into that 1 week and hope that you get enough packs open to the point where you get some of the greatest players. I think that would be pretty cool and a good workaround. Mad Viper says, left back, use Tellez road to the final card. It will get upgraded as Porto have gone through to the next round. So I saw many people tell me to get Tellez specifically left back cards, but also just use a Brazilian left back and then swap around Pato and Makalele. I know I can do that. I don't want to use Wendell as my left back because he's the only left back that I have that's Brazilian and decent, or even half usable. But what's really interesting to me is how many people don't understand that this is a first owner series, because there were a lot of comments, which is actually good news because it means that a lot of people are coming to this series after, you know, weeks and months of the series running. But for those of you that don't know, I can't just buy players. I have to pack them or craft them via SBCs. So if I could just go and buy Tellez left back, well, I'd actually go and buy Alexandro in form, and I'd go and buy Neymar. There'd be two players that I'd buy straight off the bat. But sadly, I can't just go and buy players. I have to pack them or craft them for this series. Ian Palgrave says, I have an issue with the way EA have done the flashback cards. Surely if they are flashing back to a previous season where the featured player has had a stunning season, then not only should the stats of the card be increased, but the club they're playing for should be changed as well when relevant. Pato's card should have been flashed back to his days in Italy and therefore a Milan card and not a Chinese league card. What are everyone's thoughts on this? I think everyone would probably agree with you that that'd be awesome. I just know that EA can't do that due to licensing reasons. They would have to get special licensing from Pato, from the Chinese league, from Pato's club, from Milan, and from the Calcio A or Serie A. They would have to get special like written agreements and probably have to pay huge monies to have a flashback Pato AC Milan card, which is also why when we saw the birthday cards a couple of years ago that were all of the fan favorites, you know, like the Abarbos and the Schürrles and cards like that, they were again at their current clubs, not at the clubs that they were famed for being amazing at. And so even with Chicharito's flashback card is for his one of his good years at Manchester United, and that's even the same league as where his current card is, but again, not the same club. I even think Boateng's card is from when he was at Frankfurt a couple years ago when he got his team of the season card. So you know, Pato's flashback card isn't for the club he was at. I think Sturridge's card probably is for when he was playing alongside Suarez at Liverpool. Juanfran's card obviously still is, but yeah, a few like Chicharito's from Man United, Pato is from AC Milan, and the other one that I said is from the other one's from the other one. You know what I mean. Dan Zubovic says, will the red card count as a special card though for the Player of the Month SBC? They don't when using them in other SBCs. So what EA have done previously, which is always, and they did this because of the Player of the Month implications. So last year, I can't remember who it was exactly, but one player had a Player of the Month card initially, got a second Player of the Month card, and then you needed a non-gold card version of that card in the SBC. And so basically what EA was saying is that, hey, if you've already done his Player of the Month card, you can get him for a lot cheaper by using his Player of the Month card to get the new Player of the Month card. And so if they do something similar with Raheem Sterling, should he win Player of the Month? We don't even know if he's going to win yet. That's just my personal opinion on who's going to win. But should Sterling win Player of the Month, I would hope that they would put a situation in there where it says that you would need a non-gold version of Raheem Sterling rather than an in-form version, or where they would just put a special card, a Raheem Sterling special card, which would then include red cards, informs, UCL card, and the UCL live item card. So it could be one of any of the four specific card types. Now, hey, they might just try and screw everyone that picked Raheem Sterling from the player pick packs and turn around and say, okay, so if you've got Raheem Sterling, you're going to have to go and buy his gold card or buy his inform. Well, you'd never have to buy his gold card because the red card would always count as a gold card as well. But yeah, they might make it so that you have to go and buy an inform. But I think that would be a little bit harsh. I personally think that would be a little bit harsh. And then the final comment, even though we've still got about 5 minutes of game time left here, is from BRB Gamer 2. Says, hey Net, why did you not do Player of the Month Sancho? I didn't do Player of the Month Sancho because for the price, he was absolutely worthless. The German informs were extinct. Like the cheapest German inform you could get at certain times was 80,000 coins. And then when Hayne was released this team of the week, he was at like 45,000 coins. The Bundesliga inform that you needed was also going for about like 30 to 40,000 coins until Sefrovic was in packs last week, who then came down to like the 20k mark. And bottom line is Sancho SBC was like around 200,000 coins for a card that is atrocious. And what a lot of people were saying is that, hey, don't worry though, because he'll get a winter upgrade and his stats will get boosted. Even if he does get a winter upgrade, it's going to be unlikely that his player of the month will get boosted unless an in-game stat increases past the value of his player of the month card. But because his silver card is solo rated at 72, and then his inform card at 79 is also solo rated compared to the 84, he would need to gain a dramatic increase in certain areas to upgrade the player of the month card, and that might only take it up to an 85 as well, and with marginally better stats. But somebody on Reddit the other day put a formula calculator of how EA, like a detailed expansion of how EA go in upgrades, and basically said Sancho will never have great stats because of the way they upgrade cards. Like, even if they moved Sancho, if he got inform after inform after inform, week after week after week, and got up to a 99 rated, he still would only have, like, 78 or 79 composure. It would never go up to the high stats. His reactions would still only get to the mid 80s. It would never go up to the 90s. His long shots and his shot power would never get up to the heights because of the way the position is and the way that the stats upgrade. So when you look at his card, I know a lot of people love him because of he's an Englishman outside of the English league. There's a lot of hype around him. He's obviously got cap for England now. He's got 5-star skill moves, which is great. But when you look at his card, it's not good. For a winger, he's got 5-star skill moves, which is great, but only a 3-star weak foot, which I can get on with 3-star weak foots. The squads we're using here, obviously Pato has a 3-star weak foot. I'm using Sturridge from time to time with a 2-star weak foot. Sané and Sterling with the 3-star weak foots. Bale with the 3-star weak foot. It's not like I'm anti 3-star weak foot. I just prefer 4-star weak foot. So that's the first negative for him. Second negative for him is that for a winger with medium work rates, that's not okay. You either need high medium or high low for a winger. Otherwise, you're just going to struggle to get him in great positions long term. You might have games where you look, well, I played one game and he scored 4 goals for me. Okay, but long term, especially when you come up against those good players and in those tough games, he's going to go missing for you. Then outside of that, his shooting is generally horrendous. His long passing is terrible. His passing in general is average. His reactions and composure are incredibly low, like so much to the point where he is really bad. 65 composure on this card is just not good. And then, no strength, no aggression, can't jump, can't head. And 81 stamina is okay. I've been like focusing a lot on stamina recently, and I play with some players that have mid 70s to high 70s or low 80s stamina, and like even Pato being one of them, and they're not bad. They're not bad. I can deal with low stamina because if I'm in a game where it's not really an issue, where I don't need to make changes, having a player on low stamina is not going to be an issue. Like, for example, that game I won 4-0, I didn't ever need to sub Pato off there, in spite of the fact he only had 76 stamina. If I'm in a tough game where I'm like, holy crap, this guy's good, let me make some changes, that's when I'll bring someone like Pato off. Although, again, with Pato's stamina at 76, the fact that he's got high-low work rates means he doesn't even burn much energy and much stamina because he never tracks back. So, yeah, I just think that Sancho card was an utter waste of coins. Honestly, he would never get into my team. He will never get a good enough upgrade that will get him into my team, and generally speaking, he looks horrendous. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.